What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lee and we are locked in. This is episode 3 of Squid Games, and it just keeps getting better and better. Now, we seen at the end of episode 2, everybody was broke, so they had to come back to the games. We know the red light, green light was getting people off. We know that they all wanted to quit because people were dying. But when you think about it, we need money. So before we jump into episode 3, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of it, hit your subscribe button, turn your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. That's episode 3. They all got back in that van. They all let that gas knock them out. But on the way back to the little island where we're going to play the game at, officer followed us trying to find his brother. So let's see how that turns out for him. This is episode 3 of Squid Game. So I mentioned that we had the cop following him, and the reason that the cop is following 456 is because 456 had the card that his brother had. They haven't heard from his brother, so this cop, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go find my brother on my own. Since no one at the office is helping, I'm gonna go follow him. And he follows them to the docks where they get on a boat. So what the police officer does is he sneaks into one of the vans. He hops in the back and he acts like he's asleep. Now they're scanning like the little barcode chip thing that they have behind their ear. Now the circle guy, he's looking at it like, hey man, this guy isn't coming up. And of course, you know, the police officer does that move, takes the scanner from him, knocks him out, and he puts on the uniform. We in there now. The guy that he knocks out and takes his uniform, he takes his police badge out and puts it on his body and then dumps him over the water because he doesn't want to get caught with this police ID. But you also got to get rid of this body because if they come and do a search, hey, who's this body? Wait a minute, he works with us. So he had to dispose of the body, and now he has on a uniform to make it seem like he works here. Now, when they get here, all of their personal items are taken from them. Once they take their personal items from them, they take their clothes and then they put them back into their uniforms with their numbers on them. Now, we see 067, the pickpocketer, they're lifting her up. They're about to get her dressed because everyone needs to get back in here. We don't need to know no names, just straight action. But you see 067, she ain't really asleep. She slides a little pocket knife into one of the guards' pockets. That's what I was telling y'all. When that gas came, if I knew it was coming for the second time, I would have had a mask or something on and fake like I was asleep. I'm not getting knocked out again. I got to know what's going on. She takes it back out the pocket when they lay her down. So what she did was she took it out of her pocket, put it in his pocket while they were changing her outfit so they wouldn't find it. And then once she put on her 067 uniform, she takes it back out of his pocket and puts it up her sleeve. So this girl's pretty slick. If you remember, there are about 201 people left. Now 181 people came back and we have 26 billion, listen to me, 26 billion won up for grabs out of the 187 people left. 001 wakes up, he's looking around, this is the old man, he's like, a lot of people came back. So there's something about him that I'm seeing. I'm like, man, he's a little too excited for this. For him to have dementia, he really wants to be here, and this is weird. We know 456 and 118, they grew up with each other. They were talking and then they were finding out about how much debt he was really in. Now 199, 118 has been helping him. He seems like he's gullible. I think he's an Indian and he's real gullible. So they're making jokes and he's not understanding what's going on. But we know he borrowed money from 118. This could either put him in debt and later, later on in the show. But this guy doesn't seem like he's going to hang around too much longer because he's like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. Okay. He doesn't have a mind of his own. He's just going to follow the crowd. So now they're putting together a crew. You got 456, 118, they know each other. 456 has been talking to 001, the old man, and 118 has been talking to 199, the guy he gave bus fare to. So now they're building like a little alliance because you want to get in here. You want to be able to know somebody just in case there's a mission coming up where you might need to help somebody. But also, if you guys are this close, you might have to turn on each other depending on what kind of game you play. 101 is the bully. We can't have a show without a bully. Him and 067, they've been going at it. She's a pickpocketer. But one thing about her, she's never going to back down. So she's calling out 101 like, you're in here because you're in debt. You're supposed to be such a big boss, but you ain't really handling business like you're supposed to. They running you up off the streets, you back in here. So this is just ticking him off. When he hears all this, he's like, ooh, he's just getting angry. And he got a couple of minions behind him, but 101, he can handle his own thing. He just has anger issues, that's all. We all remember the crazy girl that's yelling, "Oh, we shouldn't be here." Well, she comes over and she kind of interrupts things. She sticks up for 067 a little bit and she gets everybody to walk off. Now, I was telling you about 101's minions. You know they ain't about nothing. They walking by like doing the licky tongue like, "La, la, la. Come here, girl." Like, come on, man, y'all damn creeps. We trying to get this 26 billion. Y'all over here bullshitting. You supposed to be trying to win, and 101's just using y'all as pawns. They start debating on what the next game could be. They got a nice little lunch going. It's cold. It ain't a hot meal, y'all. But 218, he's not trying to hear that. 199, he don't know what's going on. And 001 is like, it might be an old game, another one that we played. And 456 is naming them off. You know, he talking about freeze tag, all kinds of stuff that you played as a kid. But they don't know that this game is just going to get harder and harder. Red light, green light was already hard enough when you had a gun shooting at you if you didn't stop on red. The undercover cop that's looking for his brother, he's in here. Now, he went to his room and he has room 29. When he gets in the room, there's a sign up that says no removing the mask, no talking to people, and nobody leaving the room. So he's looking at this and they have a camera in the room. He's like, man, they gonna really be watching us this whole time? Man, I'd make sure I never take that mask off. He don't even know what he got to do. Just imagine in the morning you got to go to work on your first day with no trainer. You just go in there and try to figure stuff out. That's what he's pretty much about to do. But we know one thing about him. He ain't going to be focused and he's about to go do his own thing to find his brother. Now, the crazy girl, she's out here yelling. She's yelling at the guy's triangle guy. Now, these shapes, they mean rank. Circles are like all the workers. Then you have the triangle guys. Then you have the manager that's on top of all of them. So he's like, hey, y'all can't leave this room. Like, no matter what, you have to stay in here. We have to be able to watch y'all. And you got to remember, these people with the objects, the shapes on their face, they're security, but they're normal people. That's why they got to keep their mask on so they can go back to their normal life. Now we got crazy lady and pickpocketer coming up there. Hey, we got to go to the bathroom. You can't just hold us in here this long with no bathroom. Security's like, all right, it's two girls. I'll let them go. But these two are up to complete nothing but trouble. You know what I'm saying? I was going to say complete BS, but they are up to nothing but trouble. I told you the shapes and the objects on their head, they're ranked. So you see all of the squares, they're watching each one of the circles. They got about 5 or 6 screens up that show all of the circle workers. So they can make sure that they're not doing anything they're not supposed to be doing and just sitting in that room, eating that food on that metal stool with that concrete bed. I'm talking about they got to be paying me a lot of money to come up here and do some security. When I tell you trouble. Crazy girl, she in the bathroom. She smoking a cigarette. She just trying to get her a break. Like, woo, we been in there. My feet hurt. I ain't trying to sleep in there with all those wild people. Let me just get a cigarette break. 067, she's like, look, while we in here, you smoke those cigarettes. I'm about to make some moves. I'm about to see what's going on in here. I told y'all about that pocket knife she snuck in. Now she's unscrewing the bolts on the vent. She's going to take down the ventilation duct. She's going to go in there and she's going to walk around. We got to try to figure out what's going on here. Just in case we got to make a run for it one day. 067, she just stumbled across the kitchen. And they in here, they making big pots of whatever it is. But she kind of makes a noise. And one of the guys, he looks up. The circle men look up. And they're like, what is that? One of the triangle guys say, hey, man, get your butt back to work. Keep stirring. We don't pay you to be looking around. Get focused. You want to get this 21. Now the cop, he's sleeping up under the covers because the camera is on him and he's typing up little notes. The island, there's kidnappings, there's surveillance, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Now he hasn't actually seen one of the games to confirm what 456 was telling the cops, but he's making notes and documentation. So when he gets out of here, he can turn it in and this island is going down. It'll be the biggest bust in Korean history. And guess what? We all a part of it. Now they get told when to wake up. When they get woke up, the intercom says, hey, get ready for your daily task. You got 10 minutes. So that means you got 10 minutes. You don't even get to take a shower. You just hop up, put this pink uniform on. Hopefully you brush your teeth, because if not, you're going to have this mask on all day. Now, you know, we wearing masks right now because of the little pandemic and, you know, the little mask mandates, but we only wearing them for a couple of hours. These dudes got a whole face suit and face covering on for the whole day. And they be in the kitchen, hot as hell in there. They shooting people, hot as hell out there. but gotta do it with a mask on. Now 218, he's looking out for 199 a little bit too much. Now I told you this could work. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to teach him, how it is in Korea and how to be independent because he doesn't have a mind of his own. But what it looks like 218 is doing is building his trust just in case a game comes up and you have to cross somebody. I told y'all they were making an alliance, but if there's a competition where you got to go against somebody, you don't want to be in that alliance because you might end up going against somebody you know. So 218, he's building up confidence and saying, hey, trust me 199, just in case something comes up. But that's how you think when you're trying to win. And you see that anything goes in these games. Now this guy, he's going through his meal and he stumbles across a little, a pink piece of paper? And he's looking around like, man, what is this? So you know it has to be something important if there's a piece of paper inside of your bread. Like, we supposed to be eating breakfast. Who's taking time to put paper in this bread? It's time for game 2, and they bring him into a room with a large playground in it with clouds around it. Now there's shapes on the wall, and what each person has to do is pick a shape that they got to go stand by. There's a circle, triangle, star, and umbrella. And everybody's looking at it like, what should I go do? Now 218, he's smarter than everybody. So he talked to 067 and said, when you were in the vents, what did you see? And she said, I seen them heating up sugar. So for him, he started thinking back as a kid. He's like, heating up sugar. They're making like these little cookies and they're using cookie cutters to make shapes. So he's looking at the wall like, okay, I remember that shape. I remember that shape. So he knows a little bit more than everybody else, but he doesn't know what the game is. He just knows, all right, it may do with cookies and cookie cutters. 218 is telling them, look, well, let's split up just in case, because if we all go into one, it may be too hard, and that means all 3 of us will fail. Well, 4 of us, because we got 199 with us, even though he don't know what's going on. So he's probably going to follow 218 regardless. But he is making a good idea. Everybody split up. That'll give us more chances. If we all complete it, good. But if it's hard, maybe it's only hard for one person and other people got something easy. So there's, the odds are in our favor. Now, it turns out that little piece of paper that this man had in there is telling them what the game is. So he kind of has an unfair advantage, and he kind of has a heads up of what's potentially about to come. And he has to get rid of that paper. So whoever's helping him out, I know he's like, thank you, woo, because I didn't know what the hell was going on. They talking about everybody come up here and get one of the plates. What are in these plates? Is this part of breakfast or is this the actual game? I know I would have been confused as hell. Now, the game they're playing is sugar honeycomb. So whatever shape you pick, you have to move that shape outside of the honeycomb, but you can't tear the honeycomb. So you have to get that shape out perfectly without tearing it or breaking it, or you know what happens, you die. So 456, he has the umbrella, the hardest one out of all the shapes. Everybody's struggling at this point. We got 218, he got the triangle. We got 199, he got the circle. We got 001, the old man with the star, and he's like, oh man, this is rough. And 456 has the umbrella. Everybody, I'm talking about everybody is struggling with these honeycombs. The whole time, front man is watching this. Hey, make sure don't nobody cheat, because if they do, we getting rid of them right here on site. So everybody's in here. They struggling, they focused, because don't nobody want to get X'd out like that with a honeycomb in your hand. We had a dude start working on his honeycomb at the top of the slide. And as you can see here, he had the umbrella and it broke across. Triangle Head was looking at him like, well, it's time to go, brother. He's like, no, please. Bop! Knocked his ass on down the slide. I'm thinking, why would you even climb up the slide with that? That's potentially a chance to break it going up there. He just up there, oh, please. These triangle dudes, they ain't playing around. They ain't got no sympathy for you. You done broke the honeycomb and you on top of a slide. You was big tripping. Player 111, he actually passes his. Now, this is because he's getting tips. He knew what game that they were about to play, and he knew to get the triangle because that's the easiest thing to do. So they got about 4 minutes left, 4 minutes and 50 seconds left, but 111 is done, and everybody else is struggling. Guns are going off. So now you super nervous. You might hear a gunshot go off right next to you. You jump and break your honeycomb. That's how serious it is right now. Now 29, the undercover cop, He's over here. He's supposed to get rid of whoever messes up. Now the square comes over because we know the hierarchy: circle, triangle, square. And he comes over like, hey, bro, 29, your job is to get rid of these people when they lose. And he's like, oh, well, you know. And they're like, nah, don't let it happen again, though. After the game, they escort 111 off somewhere else. And we're like, okay, we know that he's getting the notes on what the game is, but why are they taking them off to the side? They must have something else up their sleeve with him. He must be working with the inside. Now 456, he has the umbrella, so he's working extra hard. He's sweating, but the time is going down. So what he decides to do is he picks up his honeycomb and he starts licking it. And the reason he's licking it is because he's making it soft. And if it's softer, that means when you start using the needle to separate the umbrella from the little trace outline that you have, it'll easily pull without tearing it apart. So hey, he's like, man, time ain't on our side. I gotta get up out of here. Now, the crazy lady, when she leaves a lighter for the bully 101. And what he's doing is he's heating up his needle so his can easily go through the trace outline of the shape he has to get up out of there. So he's over here, he hiding up under the slide so nobody sees him because he's trying to get out of here too. And one thing we know about 101, he don't care who it is. He's going to cheat to win. He's going to do anything he can to survive and win this money. Now, everybody's there, you know, the whole crew, they all completed theirs. Their honeycomb is good. They're up out of here. They're out of time. Now, this guy, he broke his umbrella right towards the end. And the triangle face came over like, let me see. He said, I ain't going out like that. He ends up stabbing him in the eye, picks up the gun. He's holding one of them hostage. He's like, man, I ain't going out like that because of a broken honeycomb. And I feel him. If I know they about to try to kill me, hey, we going out swinging. Yeah, and just like we all thought, he wasn't going to make it far. They wetted him up. That's the end of him. But at least R4, they made it. 067, she made it. And the crazy one made it. Nah, they didn't wet him up, but they did wet up another one of the guards. The guy, he ended up committing suicide because he was like, man, I'm going to go out on my own. Front man comes, and since the worker had his face exposed to everybody, front man don't play no games, no talking. Just pow, laid him down. There you go. Episode 3 of Squid Game. Let me know what y'all think about that honeycomb game. Do you think you would have been able to figure that out or make it to the end? I probably wouldn't have thought about licking that thing, but if I had that lighter, I definitely would have probably made it if I had the lighter. I wouldn't even thought about, let me lick this and make it soft. Let me know if y'all would have been able to pass that. But hey, thanks for watching. I'm Mo.J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I got a question for you. What's on your TV?
Jimmy on the beat, boy.